Hi, this is Christopher Sparrow from iTechGear.org, and I've got a really cool unboxing today. I have got something that I didn't think I was going to go ahead and get a hold of, but was very, very surprised and very, very pleased when I saw the latest Samsung Unpacked. Yeah, you probably guessed it with that. This is the Samsung Galaxy Fold 5. All right. This is the Samsung Galaxy Fold 7. All right. We're going to go ahead and take a look at these. We're going to compare this to both the Fold 5 as well as the OnePlus Open, which, by the way, to many notable accounts, is probably one of the best foldables on the internet today. To be quite serious and to be very upfront, foldables have been an interesting kind of new twist and new niche device that has made its presence known over the last few years. I know a lot of folks are really interested in having something like this come out for the iPhone. This is the actual Flip 5. But having something like this for an iPhone might be something that a lot of folks are really interested in. Why? Because it's easy to put in your pocket, and it's got that cool Captain Kirk communicator action. All right. It also has got a full-size screen once it's flipped open. Now, unfortunately for the Flip, I mean, you can see it right there. Even the Flip version 5 couldn't get away from it. The OnePlus Open, though, from a fold perspective, the OnePlus Open is done probably one of the best. It's probably one of the best foldable screens on the market, and it's been around for about 18 months. The fold is nearly indistinguishable, and you can't see the gully like you can here or even here. I mean, you didn't even really need to see a reflection of that. I mean, you could, even before I put it in this position where you can clearly see it, you kind of saw it there, even without the monitor and the distortion from behind me, or from the side here, right? Long story short, though, I mean, it's clearly visible. I mean, you knew it was there. You can see it. You can feel it with the OnePlus Open, and now apparently the Galaxy Fold 7, maybe not so much. Let's go ahead and crack the top on this little bad boy and see what we've got. Alrighty then, let's go ahead and grab the old Sword of Destiny here, and we're going to pop the top on this. Now, this arrived this afternoon. To be very, very honest, I've been watching this kind of with a raised eyebrow. UPS in my area is not the most accurate with their promises of delivery. Unfortunately, I've had more than one UPS package go on a truck for delivery today and have it be out for delivery, and the thing just doesn't come. All right. The guy, for whatever reason, I mean, it's supposed to be delivered before 7 p.m., and for whatever reason, it never gets here. All right. I have to wait till the next day or even the next day for the actual package to come. Today, on time, like I was told, which is actually kind of interesting because today is July 23rd, 2 days before this thing is actually available in store. So we got it just a little bit early. Now, I did go ahead and take part in the Samsung trade-in program. So the 5 is going back, and here's some documentation for all of that stuff, including a packing slip. We'll put that to the side for just a moment. One of the things that they say to do if you're going to go ahead and take part in the trade-in, always be utterly honest with your description of your device. When they ask you those questions, does it power on and stay powered on? Is the battery, does the battery drain real quick or whatever? Is it free of cracks, etc.? Be honest, because those guys go over those devices with a fine-tooth comb, and if it's not in the exact condition that you said it was or better, they just ship it back. No questions. It goes back in the box and right back to you. And then you're stuck without the trade-in bonus that you got. But here is the box. Now, also, if you're part of the trade-in program, keep all the packing materials and the box, because the old one is going back with the stuff. So let's go ahead and get this out. Wow. Get this out of here. And let's see what we've got. Shall we? I think we shall. Now, it's a lot less glitz and glam on the Fold 7 box this time around, which is kind of nice, simply because, hey, I guess folks are trying to go ahead and keep the spiffy printing, whatever sort of packaging to a minimum, and hopefully it'll be recyclable. This stuff should be recyclable. Now, this is the, I got it directly from Samsung. This is the that new royal blue colored 512 space, because you always get a bonus when in terms of space when you get it directly from Samsung. And I'm not sure if it actually has 12 gigabytes of RAM or that 16. You may have to bump up to the full terabyte in order to get the 16 gigabytes of RAM for sure. I'm not certain, but that's okay. Either way, I believe there's a way to actually set up a RAM, set up a swap file, all right, so that you can go ahead and use some disk space as available RAM if you need to. But let's pop this thing open. We're going to pull. I said we're going to pull the tab open here, and not quite. I'll strike two, Samsung. Where's the Sword of Destiny? All right. We're going to try to cut this open very carefully, because the SOD is SHRP. And there we go. And we'll keep that out for just a minute, just in case the other one doesn't. But I think we're going to be fine here. Yeah, we're going to be fine here. Okay, that worked out. Now, let's go ahead and take a peek inside the box, shall we? All right. So on the top of the box, you've got the everything else. This is your documentation packet. All right. We're going to hit it first. Why are we going to hit it first? Because I'm a jerk. And I'm going to make you wait to see the device. The everything else in here, well, I take it partly back. This is documentation and cable. All right. Here's the documentation. All right. Quick start guide and terms and conditions, and volume control capabilities, a little information card related to voice over LTE, GSM, WCDMA, and codecs. All right, terms and conditions for and a quick start for the Galaxy Foldable, which isn't too bad. I mean, it looks kind of nice. The microscopic printing doesn't help the older guy like me, but you know. And then, of course, you get your USB-C to USB-C cable in here. Or is it a C? Yeah, it's a C to C. All right. So you get your C to C cable, and that comes directly out of the and everything else portion of the package. All right. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this all back. Oh, the SIM removal tool is also in here. All right. Um, so let's go ahead and put all that back. All right. And take a look at that way cool device. Okay, there's one more thing before I actually put this away. There's one more thing that I wanted to point out. Look at there's this huge hole here in this particular box. All right, and I wanted to point that out because when you see the camera bump on this thing, holy shnikes, it's huge compared to the rest of the device. So if those of you that were wondering, hey, how did Samsung get the device so thin with those really high quality camera sensors and camera lenses in the actual device? This is how. That camera bump really sticks up. All right. So big hole, big bump. Let's go ahead and just very carefully take a look at what I'm talking about. All right. Look at that little bad boy. I mean, that's a camera bump. All right. Look at the shadows on this thing. Oh my God. All right. It's huge. All right. You can see check it out. All right. That's a big bump. All right. That is a very, very big camera bump. That's sticking out. Gosh, I really want to say almost 5 millimeters. All right. 5 to 6 millimeters, at least from the bottom of the device. But let's go ahead while I've got this thing open and flat. Let's take a look at, oh my goodness. Now let's go ahead and very carefully get rid of the screen cover for this. We'll get to the screens in a minute. But look at this thing. Oh my goodness. Look how flat and skinny that is. All right. Look at that. Compare that to the S24 Ultra, which I think has will have a very similar body style to the S25. But oh my goodness, look at that thing. It's less than half as thick as the S24 Ultra. All right. And compared to, give me a minute here because I want to make certain that we do the justice to this. I want to take the case off the Fold 5 because it will definitely make a difference. All right. Look at the back of the Fold 5 and look at the camera bump. All right. It's not anywhere. You can barely see it from the side. It's noticeable. All right. It's noticeable. But compared to the bump here, all right, holy shnikes, look at that little bad boy. Does a bump, all right? Does a big, big bump, all right? Stick those things, sort of tiered, and you can see what I'm talking about, all right? Compared to what we've got, I'm trying to make it flat, so pardon me for the shakies on the devices, but you can see the difference in the height that way. All right. Now, as far as the thinness of the device is concerned, let's see if we can. That's clear. Even though this is supposed to be an HD camera, right? You can tell how thin this thing is comparatively. It's like half the thickness of the S5, which has a similar body to the S6 or the Fold 6, but the Fold 5, all right, is about half the thickness of the Fold 7. Now, what most folks are saying as far as an upgrade is concerned, and let's be serious about this, all right? Was there a big difference between the Fold 5 and the Fold 6? Not really. All right. Unless, you had the cash to burn and spend or absolutely positively had to have the latest, greatest Samsung devices in your corral. A lot of folks are saying, maybe you hold off. Maybe you don't upgrade right away. All right, maybe you kind of wait to see what, if there's something that's compelling. All right, that's compelling. All right, if thin is in and you're all about the thin, then I'm telling you, this is compelling. This is a compelling reason to upgrade. All right, right there. And you're going to go and look at this and say, holy smokes, Chris, yeah, you're probably right. If I want a thinner device, then that's really what I'm looking for. Folded, this thing is going to be as thick as this thing unfolded. Yeah. All right. From a camera perspective, I mean, the cameras from the 5 to the 6 to the 7 are all kind of sort of about in that same range. There's not a lot of huge difference in terms of cameras, although there is some difference in terms of quality of pictures taken with the newer sensors. Honestly, I think the camera specs were close, if not as far as the 200 megapixel lens was concerned, right? So, but let's get down to brass tacks already. All right, I mean, let's look. Can we see a fold? Can we see? Now it's really difficult, isn't it? Where's the crease? Where's the crease? Holy smokes! You really can't see it, can you? And looking here by myself, you can't. You run your fingers over it and you feel where the crease should be. Yeah, you can feel the hinges, all right? And yes, you can kind of vaguely see the outlines of the two edges of the hinge. But as far as that middle crease line is concerned, nuh-uh. You ain't seeing it, all right? Let's take a look. I mean, look at the 5. You knew it was there even before I went ahead and stuck it up front of you. All right, there it is. There it is. You can see exactly where it is. Where's that? Where's that? Where's it at? There's that. You can't tell. You can't tell. Let's take a look at the one plus open in terms of where the hinge is. All right, and let me go ahead and turn this little bad boy off, so that we don't have to worry about, where the screen is or isn't, all right, and what's on it, so that you can clearly see, right? Now there's some fingerprints and whatnot, but there you kind of sort of see, right? There you can kind of sort of see there's a crease, right? There's a crease, sort of, right? Where's that? Where's that? I mean, you really can't see it, even when it's supposedly glaring right at you. Where's that? There, we should be able to see it there, right? No, I have no idea what the heck is going on with this, but this is probably iPhone users. Are you listening? This is likely going to be the same display that you're going to see on an iPhone Fold. All right? Make no doubt, this is the kind of screen that Apple would like to see on a foldable device. All right? Now, there, and this is about the thickness of that device underneath it, right? That's about the same. That's about the same. You're really damn close, kids. You're really damn close. All right? And open up that screen. Where's that? You can see it a little bit now that I folded it once. But honestly, it was amazing, because you open up the Fold 5 or Fold 6 or even the One Plus Open, and they all arrive opened, large, and flat. All right? You cannot see it. All right? You really can't. It's a little bit more noticeable now, all right, but not by much. All right, not by much. And I wonder if it's how self-healing it is, because you can see the two. What you see there are the two ends of either side of the hinge or of the fold. All right, but the actual center line, it's really difficult to see. what you see are maybe the left and right edges of that crease, but not the actual crease itself. That's amazing. All right. That is absolutely amazing. Now, from what I understand, all right, yeah, there is a physical SIM slot, and it's up here on the top. All right. Um, and it is almost, and I mean just by just a real squeaker sort of thing here, it it comes up to the entire both sides of the wall. All right, it's got two microphones on top, a speaker. There's a speaker on the bottom of this and a microphone and then a microphone and the USB slot on the other side. There is no micro SD slot, and I'm not surprised given the thinness of this device. But look at that royal blue. I mean, that is really sweet. That is such a nice, nice color. Let's take a look, though, real quick at the outer front screen. All right. This outer front screen is about as wide as your regular screen on any other device. All right. Let me grab the S24 Ultra. All right. And do a quick wiperoo here on the screen, just so that you can see, the really, really. I think the Ultra is just a little bit wider, and it is, but not by much. All right, let's see if I can go ahead and that camera bump is really noticeable. All right, but it's about as thick as this, and you're gonna see that there is a little bit of a difference in terms of size. You can fully see the Ultra behind it, and you can see the thin bezel if you of extra screen, because this is a little, because the Ultra is just a tad bigger. But yeah, wow. Now, how did they get it so thin? Let's talk about that in a minute.
Finally, monsieur. Oh. It's only.
Okay, so let's go ahead and try to strip this down just a little bit. This device is thin. It is wafer thin. All right. And the only way that you get this device to be this thin is by taking stuff out. All right. Battery life was sacrificed. All right. It's got a 4,400 milliamp battery as opposed to a 5,000, which you're going to see in a lot of other devices, including devices from Samsung. All right. You're going to see the loss of digitizer support. And that is probably one of the things, that and the battery were probably the two biggest things in terms of sacrificing. I folded this, and you saw me unfold it just now. You can kind of sort of see where that hinge is now. You couldn't when we first opened it because I hadn't folded it yet. But the digitizer, lack of a digitizer, and what does that mean? Well, there's no stylus support. All right. So in other words, with the S24 Ultra or the Ultra series, there was always that little stylus that was built in. And part of the reason why the Ultra is as thick as it is so that the stylus can live on board. All right. And that stylus goes where you go now. You need it, pull it out. There is absolutely, positively no S Pen support in the newer folds. Now, Samsung will tell you that this is because there was only like maybe 3 to 6% of the entire user base that was using this particular device with a pen. And I ask you, how are you not using this with a pen? Look at all of that wonderful writing space. Look at all of it. Notes of what your flavor of note application, or your flavor of word processing application, or whatever application would be absolutely positively fantabulous with pen support. Now, the biggest problem with pen support on the Galaxy Fold was the fact that you got this little first grader kind of crayon sized stylus versus the wafer thin ultra stylus. Now, this is an oblong sort of thing. It's flat, all right? And you can see when I twist it like that it gets a little bit thinner. That's because, kids, it is not a round circle like this is, all right? It's a pinched kind of like carpenter's pencil, sort of, right? And that's what really makes it thin. They squish it, all right? Now, you see the same thing on the pens that come with the Microsoft Surface, the slim pens, right? You see them that way, right? I don't care, all right? I wanted this stylus stored this way in this phone from the beginning, since it was introduced. And now, because it is wafer thin, you aren't going to get that. There's no stylus support at all, internal, external, or otherwise. Now, you will get those, sort of, mushy pen-ended kind of styluses, right? That really kind of substitute for your finger, but you had to have that. You had to have something. Those will probably work. Those non-conductive, whatever styluses that you see for, old ladies that are playing mahjong on their phone. Sorry, Ma. Anyway, you're gonna see those will probably still work, but nothing, no Bluetooth stylus, no Bluetooth support for styluses, no screen digitizer underneath this to go ahead and actually receive those inputs. It's not going to happen. So no matter how much you wish and pray for it, if you were using it, you aren't going to see it on the Samsung Galaxy Fold 7. All right, now let's get serious about battery life. What kind of battery life am I going to see out of this? And what kind of battery experience am I going to have? Well, this is one of the areas that's, I guess, got a little bit of controversy in it. Some reviewers and Samsung will tell you that if you use it the right way, you're going to get close to, or if not a full day's battery life out of this thing. You buy that, I got a bridge that I want to sell you. You're not going to get, you're likely going to have to go ahead and keep a charger around and handy. All right. Now, while you don't get wall warts with these anymore, all right, they did give you a cable. You may want to have, a longer cable, depending on where you go and where you're going to be. You may want to have a decent enough cable that's going to go ahead and carry enough power to be able to charge you up when you need it. 44 milliamps isn't bad, but it's certainly not going to last you an entire 12, 14, 16-hour a day. At some point, if you don't have a power cable and wall-wart handy, you're going to run out of battery. Look at this thing, kids. It's really thin, all right? And they don't have the the newer kind of battery. This is a lithium-ion battery, which basically means any lithium-ion battery that you have now that you've been working with, say, for over the past 2 years, you're going to get the same kind of lithium-ion experience with a 44 milliamp battery. You're going to need power at some point during the day. You're going to need to top it off, because if you don't, you aren't going to see the end of the day on this. Okay, So where does all that leave us? Well, let's sum up, right? You've got a new screen with a barely noticeable crease. You've got a new camera system, 200 megapixel primary lens, 12 megapixel ultra wide lens. You've got a 3x optical zoom on a 10 megapixel lens, all on the back. Both of those lenses will support both 4K video and 8K video, 4K at 60 frames and 8K at 30 frames. All right. There's also a 1.25 inch, which in this package is kind of big, HP2 sensor for improved image quality. All right. Like I said before, this thing is ultra thin. Folded, it is the same size as half of the Fold 6 and Fold 5 comparatively. All right. It is folded up. It's the same size as the old one, unfolded. All right. However, to get there, man, they had to give up a few things. So what did you give up? You got a smaller battery. You've got not a 5,000 milliamp battery. You got a 4,400 milliamp battery. You're going to need to charge during the day. Take a cable, find some place to charge. You're going to need it. All right. Or get yourself a battery that you put on the back of that to go ahead and use the Qi charger that's included on this as well. If you do that, you're going to know, you need to know it's going to get hot. The device is going to get hot. You can't get away from that. All right. Be careful with the Qi charging. All right. There's also no digitizer support, which means no stylus. You had one in the Fold 6 and the Fold 5, and you've got it in the Ultra series. All right. But there's no stylus support at all. So what are you left? What else? What other kind of goodies do you got? Well, you've got Android 16 and One UI 8 directly out of the box. All right. Now, from a UI perspective, all right, Android 16 adds notification shade and quick settings. All right. Now, the notification shades are a different sort of shading system that the UI has. Quick settings, however, is something that is customizable in Android 16, allowing users to adjust tile sizes while One UI 8 sort of maintains a consistent tile size across the UI. All right. The design language is updated and it adopts a more modernized look. So you've got that as well as One UI 8 maintaining Samsung's unique design elements across the entire interface as well. A few new functionalities. Split screen multitasking. One UI 8 includes split screen multitasking that Samsung is calling Open Canvas. Now, this allows users to easily switch between apps while maintaining a consistent interface. All right. You've also got live notifications, and they are known as live notifications, allowing real-time information to display from apps, enhancing the usability without interrupting the user experience. Thank you, Samsung. All right. So those are the kind of the new things that you've got. You've got a brand new form factor. It's wafer thin. All right. You've got new cameras and a new camera sensor. All right. But watch out. Those really stick up. This is not going to lay flat on your table. It didn't before, but you didn't have as big of a noticeable angle on the table. Now you kind of will. All right. You've got 4K at 60 frames. You've got 8K at 30 frames. So the bigger, better video is going to look really nice on this brand new display. All right. Like I said, it's ultra thin, but you've got to watch your battery use, and there's no digitizer support, so no stylus for you. All right. As I said, that's the Samsung Galaxy Fold 7. This is Chris Spera from iTechGear.org saying, stay tuned. There's more to come.